Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, YAHAWASHI, Bahashem Harakakodash. Double honors to the Apostle Great Millstone, and peace and salutations to the Akim tuning into these videos. Alright, so the topic of this video is going to be about this so-called anti-Semitic sign that was found over there in LA. And it was posted on the news, CBS LA 2 or whatever. Pretty much the story, and you can watch this video for yourself, is there was like a Jewish neighborhood, and somebody put up these signs, and the signs read, "YAHAWASHI is coming," in bold letters, bold red letters. And pretty much this is the elites doing something so that they can further persecute the men of the Lord. The people who have the whole truth, knowledge, and understanding of the scriptures, namely Great Millstone. Because if you ask me, my opinion, because of all the things that have been happening, if you see like a timeline, is first you had Donald Trump, and he was speaking about how he was gonna pretty much get rid of the I believe it's the First Amendment, which speaks about freedom of speech, because you pretty much can't question the so-called Jew or anything like that. And then right after he did that, you had that incident over there in New Jersey with those two people who I also don't believe were real. Went up to a kosher supermarket, killed one Jewish person, and a Latino and a few other random people, but then they used that whole story to go against us. You could tell, people are pretty much aware. Like, people are, watching the news now, at least, or to have some, understanding of us and what we're preaching about, but then the elites are painting us in a bad image. Because you can actually, go to our camps, whether it be LA, California, New York, Australia, whatever, any of the camps of Great Millstone throughout the four corners of the earth. If you go there in sincerity, and actually sincerely ask a question, we'll break you down what we believe in and why we believe in, and then we'll point to it in the scriptures. Because what the elites are doing is, they're painting us as bad guys, like we're over here renegade trying to kill people. Because the Bible says, the men of the Lord kill people. That's pretty much the spin they're going on. And then an unlearned person isn't going to really know how to answer that question, but I can answer that question. If a person comes up to me, and they know I'm so-called religious or whatever, how the world says it, this is a way of life, this is a nationality, this isn't a religion you can just pick up. But a person goes up to me, and he would question me about these things. He says, "Why aren't you killing Sodomites or the enemies of the Lord, the Edomites, who you believe are the Edomites?" I'll pull up this scripture. I got a lot of scriptures for this video too. All right, so this is 1 Corinthians 10:23. It says, "All things are lawful for me, but all things are not expedient. All things are lawful for me, but all things edify not." So pretty much that's the answer as to why we're not going around, doing things like how in the ancient world was happening. Because, like the scriptures also say that we are to follow the laws of the land. And the laws of the land of Babylon are obviously wicked. So to the best of our ability, we stay away from eating pork and, living amongst the Babylonians. But that's why you got to pray over your food, because you never know. Ultimately, there's going to be poisons in all your food. But see, that's the precept that we would use, because the elites are trying to paint us in a bad picture, when all we're doing is heralding the return of YAHAWASHI, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ. And we're saying that it's not going to be a good thing for a lot of people, and it's going to be a bad thing for a lot of people, but it's going to be a good thing for a small remnant of people. And people have been doing this for years. So-called white people, so-called Asian people. You can go to any church and pick up a King James Bible. They all say the same thing. But us here at Great Millstone, we believe that we have the whole truth, the whole spiritual truth and breakdowns and understandings of the scriptures. That's why people are going up against us, because ultimately it's fulfilling prophecy. No one's going against, the Catholic Church or the Christian Church in the sense of them being, the men of the Lord and heralding the return of the one that they call Jesus Christ. which his real name is YAHAWASHI. So part of the precepts and the prophecy is that they're going to come and paint us in a bad light. So pretty much, this is told to us by YAHAWASHI himself 2,000 years ago when it was on the earth. So I'm going to read this precept. This is Luke 21:12. It says, "But before all these, they shall lay their hands on you and persecute you, delivering you up to the synagogues and into prisons, being brought before kings and rulers for my name's sake." And this is pretty much, prophecy being fulfilled. This is for YAHAWASHI's namesake, is that people are going to persecute us. And verse 13 says, "And it shall turn to you for a testimony. Settle in therefore in your hearts not to meditate before what ye shall answer. For I will give you a mouth and wisdom, which all your adversaries shall not be able to gainsay nor resist." Through the Spirit, this is spiritual powers. Because you got Vocab Malone over there. This guy went to a college for what they call it, a seminary for the Bible. Yeah, he is as if you talk to him, it's like he doesn't know any precepts whatsoever. Because us speaking this wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, that's actual spiritual power. Because it's breaking down Babylon brick by brick. And it's heralding the return of YAHAWASHI. Because if every prophet wasn't to say anything, pretty much nothing would happen. And then, they would die, and then new prophets would raise up so that the job would get done. And that's all we're doing. And so, like it says right here, it says, "Settle in therefore in your heart not to meditate before what ye shall answer. For I will give you a mouth and wisdom, which all your adversaries shall not be able to gainsay nor resist." And you can, with the knowledge that you get at Great Millstone, you can go against anybody and come out the victor. We ultimately don't do that. We don't do endless debates. As our apostles say, it's pretty much just a waste of time. You state your business, and if people don't want to understand, don't want to listen to it, that's okay. If people do want to listen to it, then you let them listen to it. Because we're fishers of men. And that's something that Vocab Malone, the non-profit acting person, doesn't do. He's doing this for strife, and ultimately he's doing this to paint certain people in a bad light, just like how the prophecy says. All right, so this is verse 16. It says, "And ye shall be betrayed both by parents and brethren and kinsfolk and friends, and some of you shall they cause to be put to death." This is a prophecy. Because you got family. I've seen people have problems with their family members because of this ministry. Because just because the prophecy of where it says that they shall persecute you, for my name's sake, that obviously it's happening right here, right now, especially through this video right here. That prophecy is pretty much being fulfilled in our very eyes. So it's like it's not like just a one thing, and then tomorrow it's gonna be a different thing. This is a prophecy that's gonna constantly be fulfilled. Is they're gonna hate us for his namesake, YAHAWASHI.
Shalom.
Let's talk about that.
The truth coming up.
So and then with that, you're gonna have all these other prophecies of like your family members going against you, your coworkers, kinsfolk, friends, and it says, "And some of you shall they cause to be put to death." Because we read these precepts, we actually study, as opposed to the majority of the world, we actually study this Bible. It says that, so you have to mentally prepare your mind to be ready. That if you die, you have to pray that the Lord's got you. In verse 17 it says, "And ye shall be hated for all men it says, "And ye shall be hated of all men for my name's sake." And that day is rapidly approaching. I mean, it's here, but then it's gonna get harder as the days go by. All right, so this is Matthew 24:14. It says, "And this gospel of the kingdom shall be preached in all the world for a witness unto all nations, and then shall the end come." And that video with the sign "YAHAWASHI is coming," I believe that was a false flag. It wasn't a brother in the ministry who put that up there, but nonetheless, that was being used to proliferate this ministry. Because a lot of people know now. Some people would walk by the camps and they would just cover their ears, cover their eyes. But then that video, it spread out the information a lot more than how we would do it on the streets. It's pretty much all stones are being unturned. You know, and that video is pretty much condemned a lot of people and woke up a lot of brothers. All right, so this is Malachi 1:14. It says, "But cursed be the deceiver which hath in his flock a male, and voweth and sacrificeth unto the Lord Yahweh Hashem Yahushai a corrupt thing. For I am the great king, saith the Lord Yahweh Hashem Yahushai of hosts, and my name," so like it says, "and my name is dreadful among the heathen." You know, so like I was saying, you know, just watching that clip where it says YAHAWASHI is coming, you know, that condemned a lot of people, you know, because his name is dreadful among the heathen, and also his name is a strong tower, where his followers, you know, the people who sincerely believe him can hide into. You know, so it was doing two things pretty much, condemning and blessing. And you gotta also say, you know, why is this a threat? Like, you know, on the news they were saying it's anti-Semitic. You know, that doesn't even make any sense. You know, we've already broke down what anti-Semitic means. You know, it's because first of all, it's Shemitic, and if you're gonna actually like properly say it's anti-something, it's anti-Edomite. You know why? Well, because the scriptures say it's anti-Edomite. You know, even the Edomites studied and said that these precepts, and especially the one I'm about to read, is anti-Edomite. You know, it's not anti-Semitic or Shemitic, however you want to say it. It's anti-Edomite, and that's what that sign represented: anti-Edomitism, not anti-Semitism. You know, so you gotta, you know, again, you know, ask yourselves, why is this a threat? Why was this on the news? Why were people afraid because it says YAHAWASHI is coming? It's because in the scriptures, this is what it says. What happens when YAHAWASHI is coming? And that's what being a herald is. You know, announcing this. And this is Isaiah 63 verse 1. It says, "Who is this that cometh from Edom with dyed garments from Bozrah? This that is glorious in his apparel, traveling in greatness of his strength. I that speak in righteousness, mighty to save. Wherefore art thou red in thine apparel, and thy garments like him that treadeth in the wine fat? It says, I have trod in the winepress alone, and of the people there was none with me. For I will tread them in mine anger, and trample them in my fury, and their blood shall be sprinkled upon my garments, and I will stain all my raiment. For the day of vengeance is in my heart, and the year of my redeemed is come." You know, so it says vengeance and redemption. You know, so it's bad news for a lot of people, good news for a few people. And you know, so that's why this is a dreadful thing amongst the heathen. That's why they actually, you know, it says YAHAWASHI is coming. You know, I'm thinking, oh man, Barakatah Yahweh B'Hashem Yahushai, I ain't gonna be living in this wicked kingdom anymore. But then in that neighborhood of so-called Jewish people, they saw that as vengeance. They didn't see that as a good thing like how I did. You know, but ultimately I saw through it, and you know, I know a brother didn't put up that sign. You know, this is the wrath of the Lamb. You know, go ahead and Google what the wrath of the Lamb is. You know, the heathens for sure have, especially those Amalekites. You know, they know what the wrath of the Lamb is and what we're talking about when we're saying that. All right, so this is Luke 21:34. It says, "And take heed to yourselves, lest at any time your hearts be overcharged with suffering and drunkenness and cares of this life, and so that the day come upon you unawares. For as a snare shall it come on all them that dwell on the face of the whole earth." You know, this is like I was saying. You know, me being, you know, a prophet, speaking you these precepts with the proper understanding. You know, I'm heralding the return of YAHAWASHI, because it's not only is YAHAWASHI come down to kill a lot of Edomites, he's gonna come and clean up house of the Israelites. You know, because like I say, he's only gonna save a remnant, a very small remnant of the Israelites. Everybody else has got a hit piece on them. You know, and I'm telling you this, pretty much you got to take heed. You know, this information is only specifically to Israelites who need to wake up. You know, and you know, attain salvation. But then, you know, as I'm telling you these things, you have to prepare yourself, because the scriptures say that, you know, you pretty much open this book, you know, you get put in a situation where you have to actually, you know, run this race, you know, attain that crown of life, you know, compete, you know, fight for it. You know, this is Revelation 2:10. It says, "Fear none of those things which thou shalt suffer. Behold, the devil shall cast some of you into prisons, that ye may be tried, and ye shall have tribulation 10 days. Be thou faithful unto death, and I will give thee a crown of life. So like I said, the elites are painting us in a bad picture. So it's going to be easy for the masses to demonize us, to blackball us, so to speak. And the majority of Israelites and some of the remnants, because the scriptures say that some of the remnant are going to be put in these prisons. They're going to be put in these concentration camps that are being set up as we speak. And you gotta prepare your mind, body, and spirit for those tribulations. All right, it says Matthew 5:10 says, "Blessed are they which are persecuted for righteousness' sake, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven." So when that persecution comes, take it cheerfully, because the scriptures are speaking about it. This was written years ago, and we're in those exciting times. So that's the end of this video. And again, I don't condone that sign or those two people that probably don't even exist to go out and do a renegade thing, because it's YAHAWASHI that's going to come down and and cut down the wicked. Nobody down here is going to do anything until YAHAWASHI comes down here and lifts the standard. All right, so all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem Yahawashi, Bahashem Rakakwadash, and Shalom Akim.